Okay, guys, today we're going to be talking about how to turn your SREEs into 6-sentence paragraphs. Before I tell you, how do you think SREEs will help us write better essays when we start writing them in this class? All right, so here is kind of the game plan for us. So first, we learned how to do SREEs. You guys learned how to do that last year. You have a claim, which is another word for your statement and your reason. You're using evidence to support your claim, and that's supposed to be an arrow. And then you learned how to elaborate, and our elaborations have been getting a lot better than they were in 7th grade. Okay, now today we are going to work on 6-sentence paragraphs, which I think you might have started in 7th grade as well. But really, it's just an SREE with couple more things added to it. So first, it's got to have an introduction sentence, and then we're also going to add 2 E's. So that is a 6-sentence paragraph. It's an introduction sentence, SREEE. And then finally, when we start writing essays, we're going to do just 5 paragraphs. That's going to be all that's required. Can you do more paragraphs, like in the future, or if you even wanted to in this one? Yes. You're not stuck with just doing 5 paragraphs in an essay. The whole goal is that we stack up 6-sentence paragraphs, and then all of a sudden we have a great essay. So without further ado, let's get into our 6-sentence paragraph. Okay, step 1, we need to have an introduction sentence. So this is my example one. My question that I'm doing is, which character's journey is the most difficult so far? The introduction sentence is not, listen to this, not, sorry if that was really loud, going to answer the question, okay? It is going to give an introduction to your topic. So my question is, which character's journey is the most difficult so far? I am not going to say this character's journey is the most difficult so far. First, I'm going to let you know what book I'm reading, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of background information about refugee. The reason we do this is that so our reader is starting to be eased into the topic. They get the introduction sentence before we hit them with the statement and the reason. So my introduction sentence is, in Refugee by Gratz, all 3 characters have to flee their countries and end up in dangerous situations. So notice I have not answered that question. All right, if I can zoom out, I will. Okay, go to the next one. It is your turn now. On page 14 of your Refugee Reader's Notebooks, there is a place for you to write your 6-sentence paragraph. So now go ahead and write an introduction sentence on page 14. The question that you're going to be answering, but not yet, not in the introduction sentence, is it fair for the government to target Joseph because of his religion? That was the worst underlining I've ever done. I'm just going to get rid of it. So that is your question that you're going to be answering. However, in your introduction sentence, tell me something about Joseph and his religion, like tell me who he is, what his religion is. So you can say, in Refugee by Gratz, Joseph, and then tell me something about him. But don't answer the question yet. Okay, go ahead and write that. Okay, next, you guys are pretty familiar with this part. Next, we have our statement and our reason. So my statement is Mahmoud's journey. Oh gosh, I cannot underline today. Mahmoud's journey is the most difficult so far. I started out good and finished better. So there's my statement. And then let's do blue. Because his house was destroyed and he has been unable to find safety. And that's my reason. Okay, remember, this is a 6-sentence paragraph. Our statement and our reason together are only 1 sentence. So don't count each of those as 1 sentence or you're going to be short in your 6-sentence paragraph. All right, so now you guys are going to write a statement and a reason in your reader's notebook for the question, is it fair for the government to target Joseph because of his religion? I'm going to help you out on the statement. You should say, it is not fair for the government to target Joseph because of his religion, because, and then give me a reason. Okay, next. Once again, you know how to do this. We've been practicing this all year long. We have an example and an elaboration. So my example is, for example, in chapter 6 of Refugee, a missile hits his house and he gets trapped in the rubble. Notice that I have in chapter 6 of Refugee. You can do the page number or the chapter number, but you do need to include that. This means that Mahmoud's journey starts out really hard because he literally has nothing left from his home. Okay, your turn. Go ahead and continue with your 6-sentence paragraph. So you have your introduction sentence, you have your statement and your reason, and you have an example, now you're going to add your first example and elaboration. Make sure it is directly relating back to your statement and your reason. Don't pick random evidence that does not support your statement and your reason. Okay, and then one more time, we have a second example and elaboration. Remember that your elaborations have to add something new. They can't repeat anything that's already been said in the paragraph. So I can't say, this is why Mahmoud had the most difficult journey so far. That was my statement. I can't say that again. Even if I switch up the words, has to add something new. All right, this is a great way to start your second example. Another example is on page 70. Some soldiers get into the car with Mahmoud's family and they get into a gunfight. This shows that Mahmoud's journey is continually difficult and there are never moments where he feels safe, unlike the other refugees. So notice I'm really adding something new here, that he is not like Isabel or Joseph, who do have brief periods where they do feel safe, they feel loved, surrounded by their family. Mahmoud is always on the go. All right, your turn to do your second example and elaboration in your reader's notebook. Make sure that elaboration adds something new. This second elaboration is also a really good time to do a nice conclusion sentence that wraps it all up. Okay, I just wanted to show you my paragraph all together, and hopefully yours looks similar to this. So in Refugee by Alan Gratz, all 3 characters have to flee their countries and end up in different dangerous situations. Mahmoud's journey is the most difficult so far because his house was destroyed and he has been unable to find safety. For example, in chapter 6 of Refugee, a missile hits his house and he gets trapped in the rubble. This means that Mahmoud's journey starts out really hard because he literally has nothing left from his home. Another example is on page 70. Some soldiers get in the car with Mahmoud's family and they get into a gunfight. This shows that Mahmoud's journey is continually difficult and that there are never moments where he feels safe, unlike the other refugees. So what I really like about this 6-sentence paragraph format is that it's so clear what your argument is. So remember, your argument is your statement and your reason. That's your claim. It's so clear what your claim is, and then you're always supporting your claim with evidence, and your elaborations really tie everything together. I'm going to draw a little bow to mean that elaborations tie everything together. There we go, beautiful. But it's just a really nice paragraph. It supports your answer really clearly. So yours should look something like this when you are done. Make sure you have completed page 14 in your Refugee Reader's Notebook.